Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to the Purple People Podcast. My name is Kyle Smith. This is episode 618. We're going to talk about the Philadelphia game against the reigning Super Bowl champs. What's up, boys? How are we doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. Went and got some shopping done. Got some Taco Bell, so I'm a happy guy.
Ooh,
what's the
Taco
order?
Bell.
That's what we got to know. What's the Taco Bell order?
Well, I am on a pretty crazy restrictive diet right now, so it was very customized. But I went for the Cantina Bowl, and I tripled the protein.
There you go.
One of my friends put it up the other day. I forget the new thing. I've never heard it before. Something new on the menu. I got to try. I got to look back at that Facebook post.
Oh, the Flamin' Hot Cheetos burrito?
No, not that one. That would have jumped out. That does sound interesting.
I looked at it, and it's like 600 calories. I'm like, nope, can't eat that today.
I forget. I usually go with a crunch wrap or a quesadilla. I like a cheesy gordita crunch a lot. And then if you absolutely need one that's cheap, the beefy 5-layer burrito is pretty good. But I like a quesadilla and usually a crunch wrap.
Wes seems like a Nacho Bel Grande kind of guy.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
I think the genius thing about Taco Bell is it's literally the same ingredients everywhere, and they have a customizable, like, hey, you can do this, you can do that. And it's like, you can order about 5 things off this menu, and it is the exact same thing.
That's the beauty of
It
Mexican.
It's genius.
It's same. You're right. Same 5 ingredients. Doesn't matter what order you put them in. You get the same thing. Do you want it crunchy or not crunchy? Do you want extra cheese or not? Like, that's pretty well the extent of it. I love it.
I'm happy to talk about that because this game frustrated the life out of me, and I have to tell a story to start the show. For anyone that watches, I know Sergio's in here. Thank you for joining us, Sergio. I had to watch this game from Philadelphia. I went to a wedding this weekend. Shout out to my wonderful friend.
That was why you were so dressed all fancy on social media.
Right, yeah.
I
I fit
wondered.
pretty well, you know. I was happy that I fit into my tux even better than last year. And, shout out to my friends, Kelsey and Tommy. They got hitched at 5 p.m. on Sunday, which gave me just enough time to watch the game. But being in the city of Philadelphia, riding by, I think it's Lincoln Financial Field?
Yeah.
Yeah, at 10:30 p.m. on Saturday, I held my middle finger out the window as high and far as I could. I have to say, that town absolutely loves their football. Literally, if you go, I went to Walmart, got a cheesesteak there from a really highly rated place, both days actually, and then it's just, that whole town is just, that's what it is. It's not visually appealing.
I don't think people will argue that, Eagles fans are passionate.
It's kind of the identity of the town, and it was kind of shocking to see because it's not a visually appealing town. It's very blue collar. But the thing that I had to tell this story about on the show is the game ends. There's a bus to pick us up around 4:15 to go to the venue, should you partake in some beverages or if you just want to get a shuttle there. And it's a school bus that's converted into a party bus, and it's painted with Philadelphia Eagles everything from the first Super Bowl. And I wanted to die. I couldn't stand any of it, and everyone there talks like a typical Pennsylvanian. Sounds like you're watching an episode of Viva La Bam. And they just expect the team to win. And I'm like, what's that like? What's that?
Yeah, what are expectations? We don't have those in Minnesota. No, you know what though? Those converted school buses into party vans are pretty rad. Like those are done well. Those are pretty cool.
I miss the school bus.
Yeah.
It was not bad, all considered. I'm not gonna lie. I'd rather go into a Green Bay themed one. I hate Philadelphia so much after 2017 and all that fun nonsense and the fans being terrible. But they do love their team. There was no
Did you run
shortage
up the Rocky Steps?
I did not.
Well, what the heck?
I went.
Kyle Smith, don't run.
Yeah. Not even if there's a fire. No, I got in late Saturday, wedding Sunday, and then I left as soon as I could early Monday morning. So not a lot of time to sightsee, but not on my list of places to go back to. The food was great. I'll give them that. Both the places that I stopped at were wonderful. But the Vikings lost 28-22, and the story of this game was the red zone, in my opinion. They made a bunch of trips, and they got one touchdown out of it, and had Carson Wentz not throwing a touchdown to the other team, the Vikings easily could have won this game.
Yeah, the Vikings were in this game. I was kind of surprised by that.
And
Especially
of course,
considering the first half went really bad.
Of course, anytime I can to poo-poo on Jalen Hurts and say, listen, if he was in New York, Carolina,
perfect passer rating.
He looks like the second coming of Tom Brady against our beloved team. So give him his flowers and credit where it's due. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are still those dudes.
Speaking of A.J. Brown, I had him on my bench in fantasy football, and then I noticed that Jacoby Myers was out, so I had to swap somebody in, put Brown in there, boom, points.
You know what? I'm glad that it worked for you because I had Jordan Addison on my bench because I thought Jamison Williams against the Bucs would do some damage. I like Detroit at home. I did predict them to win. And Jamison Williams got me a big fat 0.
I take it you didn't read the article over on the Viking Age about how Jordan Addison was going to blow up.
I did see your article. I didn't like this matchup for the Vikings receivers. Of course, they decided to go off. I was very surprised that the Vikings defense held Saquon in check, considering that.
Yeah, the rushing attack was almost non-existent. What did Saquon have, like 44 or something like that?
Yeah,
I know it was a real quiet day for him.
Here, 44 yards, 18 carries, not much, a long of 9, so they contained him very well.
Yeah, I truly thought he was going to gash us on the ground. That was going to be a big game for him. You know, the Vikings had some troubles earlier in the season kind of containing the run, and it just felt like the right time for Saquon Barkley to kind of go off. So I'll give them a little bit of credit for containing him out there on the field.
But while we're talking about that Eagles passing game, can I please remind fans, don't DM players and call them racial slurs and tell them that they're awful human beings. Don't do it.
Yeah, we should address that. That's pretty disgusting. This dude came over from a world championship team, is clearly the best corner on the team.
He has been fantastic this game up until Philly. He had a bad game.
It's no slight against Byron Murphy. I think he's a fantastic corner as well, but I think Isaiah Rodgers this season has proven that he's probably the man, the cornerback number 1. But we have a good duo of corners. If they have a bad game, it doesn't matter if they have a good game, bad game, whatever. It doesn't allow you to go in and call an African-American player the N-word ever. It really reflects on how shitty your home life is, how your parents failed you, and
it does. It's a reflection of you as a human being, nothing to do with Rodgers or anything like that.
I don't remember if he showed their screen name or not, but if he does that, he has every right to dox you.
Oh, he did.
And that's very damning to your career if you're anywhere near being adult age. But it just shows how shitty people are and like what these players put up with. And it's
gross. I am mad about this team, frustrated about this team in certain parts, the way things have gone down for this season too. But it is just a football game. It's just entertainment, and be bigger than that, guys. Like you said, Adam, come on, don't be saying you don't say that.
I know these guys are football players and they're on your TV and they're making
human.
good money and
they're
everything.
Humans.
They're still human beings.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I always like to do is reverse the roles. Like, hey, Tyler, I know you work at, JJ's Automotive. Let me come in there and call you slurs or, X, Y, and Z when you have just a random bad day at work. And then you'd be like, what the hell, man? Oh, yeah, I was just giving you the same energy you gave one of the football players from your favorite team, Kyle nailed it. Kyle and I are fed up with this team this year. We are beyond our
It's frustrating.
It never occurred to any of us to do anything in the realm of that.
Yeah.
Well, we knew this was going to be a building year, but we also knew we're coming off a season where the Vikings were 13-3, and Minnesota's already got 3 losses 7 weeks into the season.
My main frustration with this team, the 2025 Minnesota Vikings, is look. We did expect it to be a rebuilding year. I want it to be a rebuilding year with J.J. McCarthy, not Carson Wentz, because the Carson Wentz thing that we're going on right now, and he's got his ups, he's got his downs, but that doesn't answer anything for me as a fan moving forward. If McCarthy was out there and you win some, you lose some, he looks good, he doesn't look good, you're at least
getting information.
You're at least getting information and answering a question about where you're heading. And I could sit here and be like, yeah, I'm okay with that, and I understand that.
Because we all know Wentz ain't the future.
Right, and I truly don't want to knock Carson because he seems like a really good guy. Like, he's you can't blame all of it on him.
Yeah, he missed training camp and all that. I mean, he got to Minnesota and pretty much got thrown in.
They put a quarterback who hasn't really played meaningful or good football in a while, in a bad situation where you called him off the couch essentially to come in. Like there's a lot of just like,
and we definitely saw some of the bad Carson Wentz in this game against Philly.
Yeah.
That intentional grounding penalty, I don't even understand what he was trying to do there.
And for that is my donkey for the day. I love Carson Wentz as a human. I think he's a stand-up football player as well. Of course, he's not the 2017 MVP version. I doubt he'll ever be shades of that again. But that was a doofus play that you just can't make, and a lot of his bad traits came out in this game.
That pick six was a terrible read.
Terrible read. I'm not even mad at the pick six. If the guy's in coverage and you miss him, we've seen that happen over the years with probably more quarterbacks than you would think. But he tries to do hero ball in the moments where you absolutely need to throw it away. And you can't risk those crazy turnovers. And that's what that intentional grounding, was that the same play that CJ Ham was wide open and they called him out for that?
I think so.
What are we doing here? Like, I can't get behind that. We should do game balls first, but I'm throwing my donkey out there now. Maybe I'm picking on him.
First.
I can't get behind that, and I'm not in the clubhouse to say, well, you got to start Max Brosmer. No, you don't. No, you don't. I don't need.
You
that.
should.
I don't need that.
That's what Judd was saying.
I think you just should.
I can't do that. Carson is clearly better than both of these kids at the moment. If you're going to give the team any chance to win, go with him. I'm not saying that there are.
At that point, just put Cam Akers back there if you're going to do
that. But, yeah, I can't get behind the boneheadedness of that because really all this game came down to were a couple red zone trips, a couple penalties near the red zone, and then a turnover. Easily they could have won this game if 2 or 3 plays had went their way.
You guys are right. This game is frustrating because it was actually a very winnable game against Philly.
Yep. They're not the juggernaut that they were last year, but I give them all their credit and their flowers, man.
They're damn good team still.
They are still a very good team.
They have so much talent. They always seem to nail their early round draft picks.
And all of the teams value coming up, like the Chargers, the Lions, all that, they need to study the tape of, okay, they can bottle you up in the run. Let's see how they do against the passing attack. This was good film to be like, all right, maybe we don't have the best. Maybe we don't have Saquon. Can we beat him through the air? Turns out you can. And I don't know that the Chargers present that scary of a threat, but the Lions do, which I don't like.
For me, my donkey, I'm going to stick with Isaiah Rodgers. He got turned around on too many of those plays.
Yep.
Gave up a couple 3rd and longs, and it definitely hurt.
It sucks. You don't want to give that.
And I hate giving him a donkey because he's been so good.
Yep.
So good. But players will have an off game, and this was an off game for him. And it stinks that it was against his former team, but what can you do?
Yeah, and it stinks that you have to do that when fans gotta say what they gotta say at the same time too. But
I know I'm throwing more on it by calling him a donkey.
I think that this is another one of those games where I kind of question the overall game plan heading into it. Like I still feel like Kevin O'Connell gives up too soon on wanting to run the football. I think that we have good running backs and that we should lean more on the ground game, and just like giving Carson Wentz this big workload of throwing the ball is not a recipe for success. And I just kind of question what they're doing right now.
What stinks is that I thought they wanted to give Xavier Scott some looks and get him in some plays.
Yeah.
But he was completely ineffective against Philly. He couldn't get anything done. But the good news is, I guess they're opening the practice window on Aaron Jones. So
yes, I did read that from, I believe, Adam Schefter.
So now we're in an interesting situation where, Jordan Mason's been playing real good. Mason Jordan, I never know which way to say his name. But he's been playing really good football. So when Aaron Jones come back, is it still, Jones in the feature role, or is it like a more equal split, or how would you want to go about this?
Yeah, but personally, I think you treat it more as an equal split. I think Mason's played really well. I think he's earned his carries on the team. But being able to interchange the two is a good dynamic. I think they complement one another really well. Jones complements very well in the passing game. And so that's kind of where I would like to see him be implemented a little more. Like he can catch a bubble screen. You can line that dude up as a receiver, and he can run a route out there.
Yeah, Jones is amazing on like third down situations where he can catch a ball in the backfield or even be a chip as a blocker. He is going to come in handy when he's back.
I guess we can go to our game balls now. This one's pretty easy for me. Eric Wilson. His presence was felt all day long. 6 tackles, 1.5 sacks, tackle for loss, a quarterback hit. I mean, glad to have him back. I would love to know when Ivan Pace is going to jump back in. That was weird.
Ivan Pace was benched for that game, and I still don't really know why.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. I asked one of the pages that posted that, which is why I brought it up, and they read my message and didn't answer, so thank you for that. I was curious why that's a thing.
But I still got 2 players left for my game ball, so I'll let Wes pick, and if he doesn't take my guy, I'll take the other one.
You can go for both of them, Adam, because I only watched highlights, so I wasn't able to catch the game this week.
Offensively, the best player on the field was Jordan Addison, without a doubt.
Yeah.
He was running clean routes. He was picking up everything that when Philly was so focused on Justin Jefferson, Addison made himself available and had a real good game that put him back on the map. I don't know if he's playing for like a bigger contract or whether he thinks he might be moving on somewhere else in a trade or what, but I mean, Addison, his future in Minnesota might be a little bit up in the air, but right now he's playing like a guy who is really doing some work for Minnesota. On special teams, I thought the kicking game was huge. What is up with the kickers lately? Is there like new technology in kicking, new leg techniques or something?
Yeah, I was listening to McAfee talk about it. They're able to do something different with the balls this year. They're able to...
Really?
I don't 100% know. I'll have to look into it for next week's episode. But yeah, they're allowed to, I think, maybe select the balls that they're kicking with or something.
Because we are seeing some of the craziest kicking performances we've ever seen this season.
I was joking with one of my buddies about it, that the NFL, how when something starts to go too well, we got to make rule changes. Well, you can't move the goalpost back any further, so you know what they're going to do? We're going to narrow those babies in a couple
Because players
years.
are regularly knocking through 50-yarders now. It's regular.
Yeah.
You expect it.
They don't need to mess with that.
They will. No, they don't need to, but they will.
I hope they
And Will Rickert's been fantastic, so I just want to make sure he got a shout-out.
Yeah, he was my second option. It's a good choice.
Adam, there was one of these dumb spring leagues. I don't think it was the XFL. It was one of those cup of coffee spring leagues. Didn't they have narrower goalposts?
They did.
Yeah, which one? I don't remember which one that was.
And the CFL does that too, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we have this up. We're talking about the game. We'll go through the game a little bit more to talk about a couple plays and instances. I got to bring up the playoff picture just because it's really fun.
Playoffs.
As we all predicted, the Colts and the Packers lead right now as the 1 seeds in their respective conferences.
Who knew Daniel Jones, man?
The Colts are 6-1. The Patriots are leading the AFC East in the 2nd seed. The Broncos are 3rd. Steelers 4, Bills 5, Chargers 6, and Jags coming in 7th for the AFC. The NFC playoff picture: Packers, Niners, Eagles, Bucks, Lions, Seahawks, and Rams.
Did you know that right now Patrick Mahomes is still the favorite for MVP?
Why?
It just shows they don't even try to hide the bias anymore. It's crazy.
They don't.
Who was it yesterday too? I was trying to hear. Damn it! It's going to slip my mind.
I mean, you could either do like Daniel Jones or Baker Mayfield or any of those kind of guys.
Is the favorite for defensive player of the year, and you got the guy in Denver who is just like
Nick Bonito.
Yeah, and just murdering everyone. It's like, don't go with the household name. This isn't the Pro Bowl. Vote the player that has the best stats and impact. How? Because Micah Parsons had 1 game that was good? Like, I hate it. But I brought this up to let you know how depressing it is to be a Vikings fan this year. They're only 3-3, still very much in the thick of things. On the bubble, the Chiefs are just outside the window as the 8th seed in the AFC. 9 Bengals, 10 Texans, 11 Raiders, 12 Browns. The Vikings are all the way down at 12 in the NFC. They are below the Falcons, Cowboys, the Panthers, and the Bears. So yeah, just I don't have any words at the moment.
It is not fun being in the basement of the NFC North.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect him to do. I don't expect that to change much when and if JJ McCarthy comes back.
I don't truly believe this is a playoff team.
No.
And I don't. It's
I want to get into it because Kyle wants to talk about some of this stuff too. But I'm thinking the doomsday scenario. Not that I want it to happen. Not that I think it's going to happen. But here's what it is. They're going to roll with JJ McCarthy this year for sure, and
which
probably
they need
next
to.
year.
They need to.
They want to get the information like you guys are saying. I personally am okay with Trey Lancing JJ McCarthy and getting him out of here because if it doesn't work out, which it's in my opinion it's not gonna, and he's not good.
I would say so far it hasn't.
If he isn't, you've wasted another year of Justin Jefferson. If Brian Flores decides to come back, there's another year of that.
He's not.
They're not. You're not going to put up with that however long to say like, hey, we could tell early, which I understand, guys. If you're against what I'm saying, I totally get it. Give the kid a chance. I'm still stuck on, and I can't get away from, he had all of last year to watch and all of this offseason to absorb this, and we're talking about footwork. But regardless of that, I'm not even going to talk about J.J. McCarthy because he's not even playing. T.J. Hawkinson, what a letdown. I understand he had good effort yesterday. I don't know if that's catch or not. Ever since he got paid, he hasn't lived up to that contract at all. I'm kind of good. If there was a person you wanted to move off of at the deadline, I'm good with it. I'm kind of over the T.J. Hawkinson era here.
Once they're paying Hawkinson and Oliver, I mean, they're putting a lot of money in tight end and not getting a lot back.
You're not getting anything from it, and I hate that because he looks like the logo. He's an outstanding human, but he hasn't done anything for me since getting that paycheck. And Kyle's been more vocal about it, but now it's kind of crept in my head and started to grow like a seed. I'm like, yeah.
I've been trying to be patient, being like, okay, maybe once he gets a rapport with a quarterback or something.
Yep.
And it's just not coming.
Because when we got him, you got to think he was like top 5 in the league at tight end. We're like, hell yeah, I can't believe the Lions got rid of him. And then it's been a slow but steady kind of underwhelming every year.
That is one of those scenarios where you go, this franchise is just cursed. You got him, and we were all super excited to have T.J. Hawkinson come on the team. And now it looks like Detroit did the thing that Bill Belichick used to do all of the time, where it's like, let's get rid of this player at the perfect opportunity and let someone else absorb a big contract. And then what? Didn't they draft a young tight end who came in?
Sam Laporta is pretty good.
Yep, who came in, and it was like they got younger, cheaper, better at the position. We absorbed a big contract and took on a player who's been injured. And, like, look, I know schematically that they're asking him to do more blocking because of the offensive line and things like that, hey, maybe that eats into his stats a little bit too. And
He's the third biggest cap hit on the team this year.
I know, and that is just the production does not line up. You're paying him like he's an elite top 5 talent at that position. And folks, he's just not. He's just not at this stage.
His base salary next year is $15,400,000, which is bigger than what it is now. His cap hit next year would be $21 million, and then next year
you're not doing.
You can cut him next year for $12 million as a cap hit, $7 on the next, but I think they're probably going to roll with him. But I wouldn't be upset with it, and that pains me to say because I'm a T.J. Hawkinson fan.
He's a good guy. He's a cool guy. I like him.
Not a lot there.
You know, the Vikings' first-round pick, that left guard, might be back here against the Chargers, and maybe they'll be able to send Hawkinson out a little bit more.
Like, how far out? Like, trading out? Because I'd be okay with that.
I don't
know if there's a tight end market even really anymore. I think, the league has so many really good tight ends right now that I don't know how many teams really would need one.
You can pick up your sort of prototypical blocking tight end in the draft in rounds 3, 4, 5. Like, you can get your blocking tight end there, and finding a bigger bodied tight end who can catch passes. Like, it's nice to have, but I'm with you. I don't know if that's quite the focal point that you're looking for out there anymore.
Like when the Bears used their first rounder on that tight end. What was his name? Loveless or something?
Oh, I forgot all about that guy.
And he has been an absolute bust there so far.
Kyle Pitts kind of scared me and I think the rest of the league off on drafting a tight end super high, because every year it's like, oh, is this the Kyle Pitts year?
The
it?
tight end in Indy looks fantastic, and the kid in Las Vegas was amazing last year. But I could never, unless you're getting Tony Gonzalez or Rob Gronkowski in the top 5, don't even think about drafting a tight end. Don't even do it. Yeah. I can't believe Kyle Pitts went 4th overall. But
I thought Kyle Pitts was going to be.
Yeah, he was a receiver
caliber player, dude.
Yeah. He's so big, and you thought it would be, but I don't know.
I mean, he's had a few games here and there, but
I mean, yeah,
not what you expect from him.
And there's going to be random shade from me today, just because I feel like dishing it out. But this is not going to happen either, because they both got extensions in the offseason. But I'm kind of warming up on the hot seat for Kwesi to get out of here as well. I don't want Kevin O'Connell to go. Yeah, man, he's not the best drafter, and I don't care anything about his free agent signings. Free agent signings don't impress me. Hey, we'll give you money to come here. Will you give me more than this place? Yeah. You like this coach? Yep, I can work with that coach. Cool, sign him.
I know.
Need you to go.
I disagree a little bit, but I know what you're saying. But like, you have to.
I can't. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I'm just looking at doomsday scenarios here, and we're going to keep trying to. Because I have PTSD from the last regime of, we'll just roll it back. We'll figure it out next year. We'll do the same formula. I know what Kwesi's formula is. And there's a slightly more of the WTF moments and that wasn't cool versus the like, oh yeah, we nailed it. There hasn't been a nail it moment here yet, and I'm trying to give the grace period there. But if we were winning, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
100%. This season moving forward has to be about getting J.J. McCarthy on the field and seeing what this kid can do. What can he accomplish? I'm still going to continue to give him the benefit of the doubt. We've only had 2 regular season games for McCarthy. 2 games is not enough to give you any kind of answer one way or the other on the kid. That's not fair to him. I do question this injury. It's really unusual that if he's hurt as bad as what he was, why wasn't he put on short-term IR? Like, there's all
the reason for that is because the team only gets a limited number of IR spots for return.
Okay, so that
answers, already used I think 3 of their 6 or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so that answers that question for me a little bit, Adam. You just got to see him out there on the field, and like that at least starts to send you in a direction as a franchise. Right now, I feel directionless as a fan, because watching Carson Wentz, and I'm not blaming it all on him, but you're not. What are we doing, guys? Like,
so I want to talk a little bit more about IR spots for a second, because the Vikings were able to get Blake Cashman and Tyler Badie back from injured reserve, and we saw Tyler Badie do something I had never seen before.
Turn into a bat?
Kind of.
Like a vampire?
On the tush push, he literally laid down on the field in front of the ball.
Did it work?
It was a delay game the first time that they saw it, and moved him back 5 yards, so I'm going to say,
I was about to say there was a penalty there, so something worked.
I mean, then the second time the Vikings tried the same thing and Philly got it, I will still kind of question that spot a little bit, but I think that was a really unique way of attempting to stop the tush push, and for Tyler Badie, a guy that was in his first NFL regular season action right there, coming back from injured reserve and then saying, hey, try this, and he's like, all right, I think that's pretty cool.
I give him credit for trying something different that's unique outside the box. Like, let's throw something in Philly that they haven't seen with it. You want to know, if I could pull one player from the history of the NFL in their prime, as juiced up as they can be, that'll make sense.
Albert Hainsworth.
As here in a minute, and just put them out there on the field to stop the tush push. You want to know who could do it?
Warren Sapp.
Well, potentially that too. No, juiced out of his mind, Bill Romanowski, up the middle, just like crash that baby. Like he could stop the tush push.
Well, speaking of, defensively being able to defend it, I hate the tush push. I think it's lame as shit. But if that's within the rules, cool. If you would just make it easy for the defense to do the same thing, but you won't because you got to have your Vegas spreads and your views and your clicks and all that
What
shit.
if we had?
I
Like,
will
what if we
always hate the tush push until they do whatever they need to do on defense to make it equal.
had analyze this for me in AI somewhere? Prime Williams wall. Kevin and Pat Williams up the middle. Do they stop the tush push?
I tell you, shoving Pat Williams back wouldn't be easy.
You're not shoving. You're not. Pat, fall
Who was a giant tackle? Vince Wilfork.
Yeah,
Love to
Vince
see him.
Wilfork.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah.
He was a unit. Yeah.
Is that the problem? Is that the problem? Do we not have enough big men up the middle anymore in the NFL?
Well, the NFL has gotten a lot more smaller and athletic, and it's changed the way a lot of games are played.
Right.
And you're right. I mean, with the defensive tackles being smaller and more athletic, they don't have that big physical ground anchor like they used to, and that's why plays like this are working.
Yeah.
I know I was throwing strays out to the quarterback and the GM. I have to put this out there. I am aware. I will hold myself accountable and try to be as fair as I can. It's also the Murphy's Law season. Everything that can go wrong has. The offensive
This season
line
has been absolutely stupid.
Except for the kicker. Our kicker is doing pretty well.
that part too. But yeah, it's just been one of those seasons where the injury bug has been terrible. If I'm the Vikings right now, going into week 8 it is, I think, with the bye week, 3-3 is 6 + 1, yeah, whatever. So right now, I would want them to go and draft on the offensive line wherever they're picking. I know you're not supposed to pick on position of need because you might reach. But as it stands right now, I don't know that the Ryan Kelly signing is going to work out. I don't know if he's going to be back next year. He might have to retire because he's still out.
We're talking about that. I thought that was interesting because they tried Blake Brandel there, ended up benching him, and then they went back to his name just slipped right out of my head. But yeah, he ended up exiting the game too, and I don't know what they're going to do at center, but I'm glad they're going to get Donovan Jackson back for guard, but I don't know how much that's all going to help.
I told Kyle this today because he was asking about the show earlier and like timing and stuff, and I said, we have a good guard, I think, so far, limited sample size, good guard. Left tackle's amazing. I do love Brian O'Neill, but he is getting a little older. Maybe you think about it, but center and right guard, I think it's all up for grabs, in my opinion. And if you can find one in the draft very high, if you want to go out and sign whatever you don't draft, cool. 4 out of 5 spots on the line would make me feel a lot better for anyone, including J.J. McCarthy, who I said earlier I think will be here next year.
There's a good argument to be made for going after a cornerback or a safety, too.
Yeah, that would be the emphasis in the second and third round, for sure. It sucks, too, because I don't want this to be Harrison Smith's last season. At least last year, they won a lot of regular season games, but with how it looks like we're barreling straight to about 500 for this team, I feel bad for him. But you're right. You got to look at safety. Corners, you can never have too many of those.
Who was that safety that the Vikings extended this offseason where we thought they were going to have a big role, but we haven't really heard anything from? Yeah, Theo Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Pretty quiet.
Pretty darn quiet.
Maybe Cam Bynum was a little better than I thought.
He is maybe a
lot better than
I was like, nah, it was part of the scheme. It's fine.
I hate to say that, but I'm with you. I kind of truly thought it was the scheme and Brian Flores and how they were using him, and that helped. Turns out he's also just really good at playing football.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that part.
I am a little concerned moving forward. We've talked about this for a couple off seasons now. Middle of the year, we're talking about the off season already. That tells you how things are going for us. But this does kind of feel like maybe Brian Flores is creeping closer towards taking that head coaching role, and like that's going to shake up this defense as well too.
Well, I don't think he's gotten interviews any of these years lately, but all it takes is him getting an interview or two, and he's got a chance of getting hired.
Heck yeah.
I'm trying to think of the openings. Miami will be open, but they won't.
Yeah, because let's be honest, Miami's probably going to have an opening.
Cleveland.
Yeah. Cleveland may. I
Tennessee.
don't think they would do it, but they probably should. I don't think that coach in Cincinnati is very good. They probably won't go off him, especially if they end up being 500 or better. Who else is bad? The Panthers are going to
Raiders.
be, well, no, they just got.
Jets.
Yeah, I love when the owner's blaming the quarterback like it's his fault. He is a problem, but he's not the problem. And Justin Fields is catching strays. LaShawn McCoy, was it him? Was it LaShawn McCoy? I can't remember. I watched a TikTok last night, and somebody was lighting his ass up. They're like, he's not good. He wasn't good in Chicago. He had 6 good games in Pittsburgh, and you thought that was going to be it. And I was like, damn, I didn't expect Justin Fields to catch some strays this week. But, yeah, I'm trying to think of the openings that'll be had in the NFL. It sucks because Miami, looking back on it, they might have buyer's remorse for McDaniel. He might be gone. And then Tua is the
Let's be honest, McDaniel is one heck of an entertaining head coach, though.
He is funny. He is very funny.
He is going to end up in a hell of an
on his feet, whatever happens.
He'll be back in San Francisco.
Hell of an offensive coordinator for some team.
He'll be back in San Francisco, helping them out, just like Saleh had to take a few years to find himself. He'll be back there. I'd put my money back on that. They'll be a juggernaut yet again. They're doing fine with Mac Jones right now. So, yeah.
Well, let's be honest, Brock Purdy isn't exactly a top-tier NFL quarterback either, so...
I would take Brock Purdy maybe over all 3 of them that we've currently got on the roster.
I'd take Mac Jones over any quarterback on our roster right now, and I never thought I'd say that.
Big Mac attack.
McCorkle. All right. Yeah, we've reached doom and gloom already for this year, and I do think the injuries have a lot to do with it. You can't really do. Hopefully, at some point, we'll see that starting rotation of the offensive line in synchrony and consistently for a few games to kind of see what that could have been.
So I said it last show. I'm going to say it again this show. Should we start getting concerned yet that Justin Jefferson isn't getting in the end zone?
A little bit.
I don't care. I don't care. He's the only world-class person on the team not named Christian Darrisaw. They can, honestly, in my opinion, they can do whatever the hell they want. The left tackle and the wide receiver, you get a pass. Consistently every week I say, yep, nobody else is as good as him, or it's him and 1A, 1B, whatever. I don't care.
I wish the Vikings would just implement the Joe Flacco offense.
I can't believe they won that game. I can't believe it. He got there like 6 days before that.
Yeah. Carson Wentz, here's your new offense. You have one read on the field. It's 18.
Every other play you throw to Justin Jefferson. What if he's not open? We don't care.
You throw the ball to 18, and then you throw it to 18. And then sometimes you hit Addison, but mostly you hit 18. Like, that's all you have to do.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Kyle. 42 passing attempts. Could you imagine if he targeted Justin Jefferson 21 times?
I mean, I would be okay with it. I would, even if he threw like 3 interceptions, all trying to go to Jefferson. I'm like, well, that's the common sense approach to this team right now, guys.
So the Vikings, yeah, we're good with this game. I'm not running down the stat sheet. I'm pretty over it. Yeah, they have a short week this week. 2 nights from right now, they're going to be in LA playing the Chargers. My brother's team, love you, little bro. We're feeling it. The Chargers started off hot, and then I thought our injury bug was bad. That team's got it just as bad, if not worse.
All right, so I got to ask,
who's got it worse than us?
You have a little bit of knowledge of the Chargers stuff right now, right?
What's that?
You know a little bit about what's going on with the Chargers right now?
I don't. I know the injuries.
Because I know their starting left tackle and their starting right tackle are hurt.
Yep.
Right.
I know their backup left tackle got hurt last week. I don't know if he's still hurt.
Fuck, that sucks.
But they are struggling.
Najee Harris tore his Achilles, and then my all-star from UNC, Amari Hampton is hurt, so they're down to running back number 3. Like you said, was it Rashawn Slater? That's their tackle?
Yeah.
He got hurt.
Joe Alt hurt.
Joe Alt is hurt, who was playing in left tackle, swapped his position to play. So they're feeling it. Yeah. They do have Ladidi McConkey. I love that name. Lad McConkey's there.
And as always, Keenan Allen's going to get his 120.
Oh God, I forgot about him. I forgot he's still back there. Shit.
Turns out he wasn't bad. He was just in
He's just had a
Chicago.
year with the Bears.
Comeback player of the year.
uh,
Come back from what? Being a
Playing for
Chicago
the
Bear.
Bears.
Playing for the. Also, that works for playing for the Browns.
It
You can get
does.
comeback player of the year.
LA is favored 61% to win this game, according to the matchup predictor on ESPN. Let me go to their thing here and see if I remember any names that jump out.
Oh, Sergio says that the Vikings are going to win.
Nice. That would be cool. I wouldn't hate that.
Because he won't be at the game.
Justin Herbert, 19. God, Jesus Christ. Only through how many games? 1,913 yards, 13 touchdowns, 6 picks. Amari Hampton is on IR, so he's definitely done for a while.
Right.
Keenan Allen, 44 receptions, 4 touchdowns. Yeah, I got to ask my brother about the defense. Doubtful, Hassan Haskins, running back. Joe Alt, Trey Pipkins, Troy Dye. Wasn't Troy Dye on our team?
Yep.
Yes.
Linebacker for the Chargers. Okay. It's only Tuesday, but they got to turn it around pretty quick, so that's who's questionable. Questionable for us, Carson Wentz, Van Ginkel, Xavier Scott with the wrist. So yeah, we'll see with that. I got to ask my brother what the defense is like, with and I didn't know that too, that Jim Harbaugh brought over a college defensive coordinator, if I have that correct. And now he's running the defense for them. I may be wrong. I thought that was what it was. Who is Chargers D coordinator?
Because I got to be honest, I have not really been paying too close of attention to the Chargers.
Jesse Minter. After he left the University of Michigan's national championship team. Nice. So Harbaugh brought his Michigan DC over. That's pretty cool.
Speaking of Michigan, Kevin O'Connell has announced that Carson Wentz will be starting this game, but it'd be pretty interesting for J.J. McCarthy to return against Detroit. Come back to Detroit and do his thing in Michigan, and I'm wondering what kind of response he would get from that crowd in Michigan.
They'd probably cheer him if he comes out of the tunnel pregame. And then,
I think we'd see some McCarthy jerseys in the audience.
Yeah, I would think so too. And then, once the game starts, you're on the opposing team. Then I still think that they'd cheer for him pregame a little bit there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a fun little story.
And then maybe we can just leave him there.
Oh no.
No, I'm not out on the kid that much. I still think that he's got a chance to play good football for the Vikings.
He can still prove himself. I'll give him time.
Yep.
Well, that makes two of y'all.
Shit. We gave Ponder year and a half
seasons?
worth. Yeah, and we gave him an easy year and a half worth of leeway before we were like, okay, I'm really starting to question this. And then, like you said, he's still got 3 years total.
It's the one thing that I'm bitching about is the one thing we need, but we're a year behind the 8 ball. That's the only reason why. I just want to know if he's good or not, because all I've seen of him now hasn't been good. I'm excluding that 1 quarter of...
Yeah, we've seen one good quarter of football.
Yeah, I'm excluding that and taking the majority of he looks lost. But it's last year. It's like, okay, you're behind the curve. I needed you to jump into this season, number one, healthy and not get hurt, which that doesn't help his case either. That's probably why every little thing that isn't good is also in the basket. And you're like, ugh, damn.
You kind of... How do I say this without sounding like a dick? If he would have went down and his leg would have been sideways, you would have been like, well, that's just bad luck. But the fact that he kind of like finished the game and you've seen him walking around with no walking boot,
I don't buy it.
It kind of sours the whole he's injured. And I do think there was an injury in there somewhere. Yes. I'm just still you just can't help but go, God damn it, is he really that hurt?
I don't buy it. I do believe there was an injury, but I think this is damage control from the head coach. That's what I personally believe. I could be dead wrong. But he looks... When you're telling the media, yeah, he's got to work on his footwork. Brother, we're 5 games into the season. Why did you say that? Like, what?
Right? You had like a whole year and an off season and all this other stuff to work on fundamentals and mechanics.
That's the thing that I worry about, because if it is that, then this is a wash, and it's like, Okay, well, if I think it's a wash, which I don't know if it is, get rid of it as fast as you can and move along. Don't string it out, but you have to string it out. You have to give him the opportunity.
But when we're
That's
talking
what I
about
tell
fundamentals
myself.
and mechanics, I want to talk to you about Ashton Genty. I know he's not a Viking, but when the Raiders tried to change the way he ran the football, he was terrible. As soon as he went back to doing what he was doing, good.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's why I always said you should have just. Remember, they made such a big deal out of Tebow's throwing motion. You should just let him have a terrible throwing motion and let it be awful. Because when they tried to tighten it up, it got worse for him, and then he was just out of the league. Just let him have a terrible motion. Let him have a, like you said with the running back. Let him stand weird. Randall McDaniel. Remember, Randall McDaniel had that he had that real
I'm
long.
going to answer this live on the show. Hey, we're doing the podcast and I have you on speakerphone. What's the deal with y'all's defense Thursday, and what should we know about it? Should we be scared or no?
Absolutely not.
So your two running backs are out, your tackles are out. How are y'all going to beat us on Thursday?
Joe Alt is expected to be back Thursday.
Oh,
okay.
So, I mean, at least we won't be operating with a 6 or 7 string tackle.
I feel that in my core.
In order for us to beat you guys on Thursday, we have to let Khalil Mack actually play without restrictions, which seems like it's going to happen.
I forgot he was still playing for y'all. Nice.
Yeah, he's been out for the last couple weeks on IR. Came back, played a little bit on Sunday, but not nearly enough to be as effective as we had hoped. In order for us to beat you guys, Derwin James and Deion Henley are going to actually have to play like themselves in the way that Chargers fans know they can. Derwin James has missed 11 tackles this season so far. He had 6 all of last season.
Ooh.
So definitely have to be better between those two. And then Justin Herbert and Ladd McConkey have to reignite their relationship. They've been playing pretty well, but Ladd's kind of went under the radar with Keenan's return and how well Quentin Johnston was playing over the first couple of weeks. So that needs to happen. And then I will also throw in a little bonus there that Oronde Gadsden has to see the field more. He was an absolute menace this past weekend. He was, I believe, our 5th round draft pick this year, playing tight end for us. Dude kind of has the build of our former tight end Donald Parham. Super, super tall.
I remember him.
In my opinion, more athletic. So
I think Keenan Allen's going to have a career day because he seems to do that against this team.
He does.
So
He goes
I'm
off.
looking forward to that. Real excited about that. Thank you for the Chargers update, though. I'll call you when we get done with this. We're 48 minutes in, so we should be done soon. But I want to die. I hate this team in this season. Thank you so much. Later.
hey, we're both used to disappointments, so that's why we, for some
True
reason,
that.
continue to cheer for our
We're
team
both
because we
masochists
quit.
at our core. We really like pain and suffering. I've come to find out.
Yeah, I'm slowly watching Justin Herbert's career turn into Philip Rivers 2.0 because we don't know how to protect.
Oh, he's
ourselves.
he's already Kirk Cousins 2.0.
The other Kyle says, "Yep, your Kirk Cousins is happening in Los Angeles for you." So good.
We had Herbert break his passing yardage career record on Sunday, and we still lost, and he leads the NFL in passing yards right now. So,
Yeah, I said that earlier. I looked up the matchup predictor on ESPN, and I said, Jesus Christ, he has almost 2,000 yards. We're not even halfway through the season.
yeah. Welcome to Charger football.
I love it. That's my little brother. I'll call you back in like 15 minutes.
All right, see ya.
Later. I don't know some of those names that he said, but
That's amazing. That's good stuff.
He loves
Yeah,
that
that's
team
good
just
stuff.
as much as I love this team.
I
And
can
was
tell.
like,
You can tell.
What
I love
do
hearing
we
thoughts
do?
from the other side.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about what is that network, Locked On? I haven't watched them in forever, but they would always bring in during the season the other team's representative because they have a network of those, and you always learn something there. Derwin James, dude, that was a name that I wanted in purple so badly.
I forgot Khalil Mack was a Charger.
Me too.
I forgot he was in the NFL.
You remember last year he had that one game where he had 6 sacks in one game?
Yeah.
If you look at the sack leaders last year, he was in the top 5, and literally the only reason is because one game he got 6 sacks. Crazy. Oh, that's great. Hey, thinking that he used to be in this division is annoying. But yeah, there's a little Charger update for you. I usually don't answer the phone like that, but I knew he would love to talk about him. He knows pain and suffering just like we do. That poor kid. What is the thing they always say? Chargers are going to charger, or the Chargers are chargering right now when they're blowing the game. Eerily similar to a team that I know and love.
But he definitely sounds like he knows what he's talking about and follows the team pretty close. So I mean, why not hear what he has to say?
Absolutely. We've always joked about doing a pod together about random topics.
We should bring him on next week. Do game review with us. That would actually be fun. See if he'll do that. If he'll do that.
If he wants to, depending on the time that we do it, that would be amazing. I have a wedding this weekend, so another one on a Saturday. So I don't know if he would be able to do it on Monday. I don't know how late we want to push that review back, but we can always wait. It's going to be the mini bye next week anyway, so.
Well, don't push it any later than Tuesday, please.
Oh yeah, that's for you. We'll definitely have it by Tuesday. I'll see if he wants to do it then. That'd be cool if you guys want. I'm down with it. He'd love to do that. I've been trying to get him to do a podcast just to talk about life for like a year, and I was like,
the Eddie Murphy movie.
That's amazing. I don't know why. The only thing I remember from that movie that's always sticks out. We used to repeat this all the time. Is a big goofy looking dude in there. You want to eat your cornbread? We used to do that all the time in middle school. So good reference. Is that all? I don't want to talk about that Eagles game.
Let's wrap it up.
I don't want to talk about that, but yeah, Thursday night. If you don't have Amazon, I think you could do a free trial.
Which
I love their interactive experience on there. That's probably my new favorite.
If you're using a mobile device or something like a tablet or phone, you can on the Amazon Prime Video Twitch account for free.
That's what I do. Yep.
And if you don't feel like paying for it, I'm sure someone on TikTok will stream it. I saw that last night. You know what? I'm boycotting. That's going to be my rant for the end of the show. I am never again, no matter what, unless they do a la carte for the Vikings. I'm not getting Sunday ticket anymore. I got it at a discounted price, and I still can't watch. I couldn't watch the ESPN game last night. I was locally in the region for the Philly game. Oh, because it asked for your location. Well, it's on your local network. We blacked it out. I paid money to watch these fucking games. Let me watch these games. Stop it.
So, I don't know if you know about this whole situation, Smith, but the WWE stopped putting their regular pay-per-views on Peacock, and they're on ESPN Plus now.
Okay.
And you still got to pay now you got to pay like $50 for them instead of getting them along with what you were paying for Peacock. And I am not paying for those wrestling pay-per-views. I'm not doing it. And it's like you with the the NFL Sunday Ticket. Sure, but I'd love Sunday Ticket. It'd be amazing. But I'm not paying that.
Yeah, I can't get behind only getting a limited number of 1 o'clock windows, a limited number of the mid-game, and then you don't get any of the primetime games, ever. You basically
and you got
get
extra fee if you want Red Zone. What's up with that?
It's not. I'm not doing that. I'm sick of that shit. It's such a ripoff because it's all the major broadcasting. It's just a bunch of conglomerates working together with each other. Like Netflix wants to do some games, Amazon, NBC, ESPN. I'm not paying individually for all those and Sunday Ticket. Just make it to where I can watch my team and figure it out. The only reason they haven't is just so everybody can make more money. That's the only reason. I don't think they'll ever do it because I feel like they would lose money doing it that way, and they're not going to dip into their pockets for the fans. No. They're not going to do that. So that's my rant for the day. What the hell, NFL? Be better. Let me filibuster here, and I'll put some of these up for you guys. See if I can make a banner.
But yeah, I can't really think of anything else that's really, really pressing entering this week. The Vikings are 3-3, so a win here would give the Vikings a winning record heading into next week. Loss, of course, puts them at 3-4, which is not where you want to be. But with the NFC North as competitive as it is, I mean, right now we're at a point where 3-3 is not a terrible record. But in the division and the conference right now, it's not going to get you anywhere near where you want to be.
I don't see them. This is really sad. They could beat the Bears. I feel most confident against that team. I don't feel like they have any chance to beat the Packers or the Lions. And that sucks because the roster's good. I
don't know if the Browns can beat the Packers, the Vikings have a chance.
It's true. Maybe. They did start off very hot, and they have sort of cooled down. The Lions team, I thought for sure the Bucs were going to handle them last night. The Lions look good again. So,
yeah, I thought that was going to be much more of a Bucs game, but it was not.
Oh, send the good vibes and prayers to Mike Evans too. He had, I think, Jerry Rice's record.
Yeah.
He's tied it for most 1,000-yard consecutive.
Yeah, the streak's over now.
Streak's over. Broken collarbone. I think he can come back in time for the playoffs should he not choose to have surgery. But what a legend. I hate to see that. The Bucs are depleted. I wouldn't be surprised if they go out and try to snag a receiver from somebody because they need help badly. They're rolling right now. So
I know this is completely off topic, but one thing that really got my nephew into football is he used to come over whenever a Bucs game was on. Me and him would just watch Vita Vea.
Oh yeah, I'd watch it for him alone. Wrecking Ball, of course. I love that Baker got his restart. Like, that's not a hot take at all. Everybody loves that. But I'm glad he got a second chance, and he's, especially this year, he's balling out. Love to see
There are those teams around the league that are just a little bit more fun to watch than others. And I should watch games like, Seattle Seahawks games, but it isn't interesting to me.
I think the Bucs and the Rams would be my choice. They're very fun to watch. Also, speaking of the Rams, let's poo-poo on me even more because I had an awesome but terrible weekend. I might be the only person ever to account for 11 touchdowns in my fantasy league and still lose.
Dang.
Matt Stafford, I said, you know what? I think the Colts will win, but I'm going to play Matt Stafford versus Jacksonville. I feel like they can win that game. 5 touchdowns. I have Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey because I'm a genius GM, and those are my first 2 picks. But, yeah, I had Jordan Addison on my bench. And the Steelers' defense, way to get me negative points, letting Joe Flacco come in off of 6 days of...
I forgot to swap. I left the Raiders' defense in.
Oh, no.
Oh, they got me 0, so I guess that's better than... I was going to say better than nothing, but it is nothing.
-4 for me. Ugh.
So, Smith, I'm going to let you pick my fantasy quarterback this week. Jalen Hurts or Drake May?
Ooh, let's see. Eagles schedule. It always matters.
I want to say they got Washington, right?
I think so.
Or
The
is it
Eagles schedule. They have the Giants at home in Philadelphia, and then Patriots schedule.
I know Drake May has been playing great football.
It's weird. It's like somebody on the show pounded the table for that guy. The Browns are at New England. I don't like that Browns defense against Drake May, even though he's going great. But I also don't think you're going to have a great performance like you did this Sunday against Minnesota.
See what I mean? That's a tough one.
It is a tough one because the Giants were on a little bit of a roll. They should have beaten Denver this weekend. We want to talk about a crazy game. 33 points in the fourth quarter is nuts. I thought Brian Daboll was going to get fired after that.
That collapse was amazing.
Man, I'd go with Jalen Hurts. He feels like the safer bet. Drake May's still a rookie, good defense. Washington's a little beat up, too. They don't look good like they did last year. I'm sorry. We're not playing Washington. New York. What happened with Jackson Dart this weekend? I didn't pay attention to that game because I know Russell Wilson came in for a minute, right? Did he get hurt?
I'll be honest, I didn't watch it.
Thank you, Gross Bacon C9. We will look into cheap viewers at streamboo.com. Thank you. And they even tell you to remove the space. You're definitely, most certainly not a bot. We appreciate that.
Definitely give your computer a virus by going to that link.
Yeah, don't go there. But you know where you should go? The Viking Age.
TheVikingAge.com.
I post some articles over there. I got a great team of people working with me over there, putting out great content. Our writers right now are going absolutely nuts, grabbing every piece of information they can. Lots of content. Lots of it. And you can check me out on social media at MNVikingZombie. Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever you're on. Send me a message at MNVikingZombie. Which apparently, I just got a friend request on Venmo. Is that a thing?
Yeah, you can approve or disapprove.
Didn't even know that was a thing. I also know now that there are friend requests on Spotify. That's a thing.
That's odd.
Everybody's trying to get in the social media parts of their apps, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. That's weird. Kyle West is on Blue Sky.
You can check me out at Vaguely Square over on Blue Sky if you would like.
I've got nothing in the terms of social media or promotion. We're going to double
check Mr. Smith out on Truth Social.
No, thank you. Let's see. Yeah, I'll double down on what we said earlier. Don't be a racist piece of crap. Thanks. To anyone, not just NFL players, don't be a dickhead.
Be a good person.
Be a good person, please. Goodness.
And if you can't be a good person, at least try. Pretend.
If you can't be a good person, just be silent. It's good. It costs $0 to shut your mouth. Just to say that.
I mean, it's also free to be a jerk, but I don't recommend that.
It's true. All right, Vikings.
But that's all I have for this week. I want to thank everyone who joined us in the chat. We love having you guys here. And thank you to those who like, share, comment, doing everything that they can over on wherever you listen. We appreciate all you guys. Our numbers have been pretty terrible the last couple of weeks. I don't know if that's a reflection of the Vikings or us or how I should feel about this, but I'm not really loving it.
We could do some more promoting on the old Facebook page if we need to. I feel like the season isn't very fun. I know on draft night, people are always tuning in. After a big win, we usually have an uptick, but man. We also didn't do anything during the bye week, but I don't really know that there was anything to talk about there.
I have had my focus elsewhere, so I apologize there.
That's all good.
But we will be back next week to talk about the game against the not San Diego, but Los Angeles Chargers. In the meantime, stay classy, Minnesota.